So, in the past few days, we've been discussing appearances, fashion, and one of the expressions that might be interesting for you to use when describing physical appearance or talking about your own appearance would be this structure: have something done or get something done. You can use both verbs. It doesn't really matter which one you use. So let's see how it works. So in Spanish, when someone goes to the hairdressers to change their hairstyle, to have shorter hair, we tend to say things like, ¿te has cortado el pelo? Something like that, as if the own person had cut his or her own hair. But in English, you can't say that, because if you say something like, have you cut your hair? It means that it was himself or herself that picked the scissors and then cut his or her own hair. And it tends not to be the case. Instead, in English, you would say something like, have you had your hair cut? Which, if you think about it in Spanish, sounds a bit strange, so don't think Spanish. This is what you shouldn't do. Okay, so we have the verb have in the tense we need, in present perfect. Then we have the object that we have changed somehow, and then this is a past participle. Let's see some other examples. If your house, for example, needs a lick of paint, or you want to change the color, so the house needs painting, but you decide that you don't want to paint it yourself because it's too tiring or whatever reason, so you may ask someone to paint your house for you. So you would say something like, I'm going to have my house painted. You could also say, I'm going to get. Both could be okay. But what you're doing, you're having the verb get or have in whatever tense you need. In this case, because it's something planned, you could say, I'm going to have, or you could say, I'm having, then the object, my house, and then the past participle, painted. I'm going to have my house painted. And somebody else is going to do it. But if you say this, you're stressing, number one, I am going to receive the positive effect. This is the important person. And then you're somehow emphasizing also the process of painting the house, changing something. For example, if you have a broken car, if it's broken down, it won't start, whatever the problem, and you can't fix cars, you don't know how to fix it, then you need to go to a garage. So you might say something like, I need to have my car serviced, or I need to have my car fixed, or I need to have my car repaired. So how can we use this structure to talk about appearances or improving our physical appearance? If you want a varnish on your nails, or you want them to have a better shape, or whatever you want to improve the appearance of your nails, so you might say something like, I'm going to have my nails done. Or for example, if you don't want to remove your body hair yourself and you like somebody to do it for you, you might say things like, last week I had my legs waxed, as you can see in the picture. So you can use this structure when you talk about appearances, when you talk about repairing things, getting all kinds of improvements around the house that you don't do yourself. Unfortunately, you can also use it when you talk about crimes. If you remember, some time ago we talked about different crimes, and in some cases you might also use this structure when you say, for example, instead of saying somebody broke his nose in a fight, you could think that the most important element here is the person that got his nose broken. So you could say he had his nose, or he got his nose broken in a fight. If somebody stole a car, if somebody stole her car, for example, you could say she had her car stolen. So to conclude, instead of saying something boring like the hairdresser cut my hair, or I cut my hair, which is not true in most cases, you might say I had my hair cut. Instead of saying something boring like the dentist pulled out one of my back teeth, instead, come on, the important thing here is that poor me, I suffered a lot. I had one of my back teeth pulled out. I don't care about the dentist. I am the important thing here. So whenever somebody does something for you, that's probably the time to use this structure.